Well, you know, the youngest of 5 children, you don't always get the most attention. So I'm sure my older brothers and sisters would say I was spoiled rotten. And of course, my version of the story is that nobody ever knew I was alive. So there you go. My first concert was seeing Devo at the Ben H. Lewis Hall, which is now the Riverside Convention Center. I worked at Swenson's in the Plaza, scooping ice cream. I used to go to concerts at the Barn all the time, and the Barn was a fun place to see all sorts of bands that came through Riverside. I first got interested in politics when I decided to run for the Riverside Unified School District Board of Education in 2011. At the time, none of the current board members had kids in the schools in the district, and mine all happened to have been at all 3 levels. I had one daughter in elementary, one in middle school, and one in high school. And when I ran, I decided that I thought we needed to have the voice of a parent whose children were attending the schools. And that's really, I think, sums up my entire political career and decision to go into politics. It's never been, I think, about me. It's never been about any reason other than wanting to try to address a problem or solve a problem or be able to provide information that somebody else could use. My favorite movie is Mamma Mia, but it isn't because the movie was so great. I think it's mostly the memory that I love. And it's because my girls and I were seeing it in the theater, and we happened to be the only people in the whole theater. And so we got up and sang and danced to all the numbers, and it was just really fun. I find inspiration when I'm outdoors and when I'm in nature. When I'm out walking in the forest, in the desert, and I'm surrounded by really nothing but the birds and the trees and the air and the sun on my face and the wind on my skin, I become renewed as a person. I become a better problem solver, and I come back feeling spiritually refreshed. I'm really proud that I was able to work with a coalition of cities and counties and state agencies to bring over $65 million into the Santa Ana River watershed for projects in the river. I never thought I would be one to go into politics. I was never interested in elected office when I was younger. And I changed my mind on that when I felt compelled to serve my community. As a native Riverside, born and raised here, I care deeply about what happens here in the future for my children, and so that's how I got into politics. If I'm lucky, I get about 6 hours of sleep a night. I'd ideally love to have 7, but it's usually more between 5 and 6. I think the question that anybody who runs for public office should be able to answer and answer well is, what have you done for other people? What have you done for your community that did not involve running for politics? How have you helped others? One of the things that people underestimate most about me is how tough I can be. People don't know about my past, what I've gone through, the hardships I've had that have made me into the person I am today. It's really important to have more female leaders because studies have shown that when women get into elected positions, more than any other underrepresented group, women provide a bridge to other underrepresented groups. And we invite them to the table to be part of the decision-making process. And we all benefit from a diversity of voices at the table. One of the things that I'm most proud about from my 8 years on the school board is that the district that I serve now is very different from the district that I first got elected to in 2011. And I'm really proud to have played a role in that transformation. We have the highest graduation rates in the county at 97%. Our college-going rates for our African American students are up 40%. Our dual language immersion programs have tripled, and our career technical education pathways have increased from 3 to over 44. We are not the same RUSD that we were 8 years ago, and I'm really proud that I've at least had a small part in making that happen. The series that I'm enjoying that we're watching now is Mrs. America, which is a little bit of a dark look at a period in our history, but very interesting and done very well. I've built relationships at the state, federal, and local levels through various capacities throughout my professional career. I was a gubernatorial appointee under Governor Schwarzenegger and Governor Brown. I've been on the City Planning Commission. I've been on the school board, and I've also worked for the California State Legislature. In every capacity, I've had to bring people to the table, diverse stakeholders who are often at odds about things, to come together and focus on a common goal and move together forward to be productive. So my hidden talent that very few people know is that I can box. My guilty pleasure is sleeping in on the weekends, occasionally, not very often. Every day I'm usually up by 5:30, exercising, getting ready for the day. And on the weekends, every once in a while, I will sleep in till 7 a.m., which is pretty late for me. One challenge that I would address in the city of Riverside is homelessness, because it touches on so many other things. I will fight for our fair share of federal, state, and regional resources to get the beds we need, to get the services we need, and also to help our businesses that are impacted by homelessness. I am hopeful for the city of Riverside for so many reasons. We have 4 universities and colleges. We have neighborhoods where people know and care about each other. We have small and large businesses that are thriving, but we also have a class of creative young people, young entrepreneurs that are able to come to us with ideas, innovation. They're going to be the ones that are going to make the future. I'm a firm believer in the adage of the best way to predict the future is to create it yourself. And elected leaders have a huge amount of resources in the young creative class here that knows no limits to their abilities.